I have a question for you. It's a question I ask myself as well. What chapter have we outgrown at the moment? What belief systems are no longer serving us? What are we ready to not put up with anymore? What are we ready to no longer ignore? And what is awaiting as a new way forward? I'm talking about here the blue full moon in Sagittarius on Sunday, the 31st of May, 2026. And this full moon has a story. The story is part of the whole month of May, where we saw the full moon in Scorpio, the 1st of May. So with Scorpio, we always have this energy of wanting to dig deeper, to face some uncomfortable truths, and to become aware of certain things from the inside, from the unconscious sometimes, which are driving certain dynamics in our lives. So when this happened in the beginning of the month of May, you might have had something that came head on, something that made you realize this is uncomfortable. Why didn't I see it before? It was there all along, but somehow things just became clearer with this full moon in Scorpio, and things were ready to be looked at. And sometimes we have a way of ignoring things, not wanting to look at it because it's uncomfortable and because we know we need to face some changes. To mid-May, we have then the new moon in Taurus. And when we have the new moon in Taurus, this was kind of a grounding kind of energy where it's like, okay, reorientation, what next? What do we do with this? Do we just continue the way we were? Or do we make a change? Do we really find a new way forward? Which can be also uncomfortable, but sometimes it's more uncomfortable to stay than moving forward. So this new moon in Taurus was a very grounding energy for us. And it was kind of to say, okay, what is my next step? And this has been building up to this Sagittarius full moon, which we call the blue moon, because it's the second full moon in 1 month, which is very rare. And so I don't know if you feel this waxing moon, you can maybe start to see it, you feel there's something on the way. And so obviously this is a Sagittarius full moon. So what does that mean? So Sagittarius is all about believing, it's about go big or go home kind of energy. And it's also about belief systems, our own belief systems, because they can sometimes limit us. And it's sometimes just a matter of what worked before, what felt safe because it was familiar, might no longer feel safe. It might feel familiar, but it might feel like I'm wearing a straitjacket. I can't express myself. And so there's also this beautiful quality about Sagittarius, which is optimism and believing something can be better. There's a hope. And this is kind of the energy that we're coming up to now. We have faced the difficulties at the beginning of the month. We have, trying to find a new way in the middle of the month. And new moon is always when you don't have the clarity because there's no light. There's no light from the moon. But now we're going to have this beautiful full moon facing the sun. And we are kind of coming to a full insight about what we no longer want to put up with, what chapter we are ready to leave behind. And of course, the journey is not over there. This is just part of a cycle, but it's just to capsule it in and say this was a May month. And what is coming next, this is up to us. So grab your birth chart. And if you don't have it, you can go to astro.com and put in your birth details. And you can get a beautiful map of how the stars were placed when you were born. Then you go and you find where is Sagittarius in your chart, because that will say something about what life area is you're ready to shift. What chapter is no longer going to, be part of the book. It's going to be something you read, you've done it, been there, you're moving forward. So I'm not going to go through every single house with a longer explanation. I actually just prepared some prompt questions for you for each house. So I'm just going to read them because I'm not going to be able to do it by the top of my head. So first house, what version of yourself have you outgrown? And think back to this month, what had come to the head for you? What have you learned about yourself that you're ready to let go of? And second house, if you have Sagittarius in second house, what beliefs about your value, who you are, talents, and maybe even financials are you willing to let go of? Sometimes we think very limited thoughts about ourselves, our own value, or what we can achieve, or we have a sort of ancient way of looking at money. Maybe this is a time for you to take a good look at that and see if there's a different way forward. Third house, what new perspective or truth are you ready to communicate? Because that Sagittarius is so much about belief system and the truth. For you, it might be something that you have just kept inside that you're now speaking up about. And fourth house, what chapter of your home, family life, emotional security is no longer serving you, is no longer for your best interest. Fifth house, what joy, creativity, and passion do you want in your life? What are you willing to let go of that you've been holding on to how you've been holding yourself back perhaps? Now is maybe the time to follow that passion, to follow that joy and do something about it, instead of just saying, one day I'm going to do it. One day I'm going to write that book. One day I'm going to do whatever it is. You fill in the blanks. Sixth house, what habits, health-wise, or work routines have I outgrown? Sometimes it's time to look at your health, what you eat, your gym, your exercise, but also sometimes something at work. What is no longer going to be tolerated by you? Seventh house, what truth about relationship is coming clear now? This can be affecting your marriage, your partnership, or partnership with a business partner. Any relationship is worth thinking about. The roles we sometimes play, the roles we give other people, but you're like this, I'm like that. Maybe this is time to say no. Let us just expand a bit and see each other with new eyes. Eighth house, what fear, attachment, or emotional burden are you ready to release? And this is really tying straight back to the full moon in Scorpio. Ninth house, what belief or vision are you ready to let expand? This is very much, the whole Sagittarius theme going in the ninth house. 10th house, what career direction or calling are reaching you now, and what steps are you ready to go for a turning point? This might be something, of course, been looming over a longer time, as it's been maybe with family, with work, with children, with relationship. But we really have intense months to sort of see things with new clarity, and then choose if you want to do something about it, or if you want to stay with how things have been going on. 11th house, what dream, what friendship, what hopes do you have for the future? And again, this can be something where you have held yourself back, maybe not allowed yourself to be who you are. For example, in friends group, there can be this way of, oh, this is my tribe, this is how we're doing it. Is there something you want to express about yourself, something unique that you held back on? And why have you held back on it? The 12th house is about what unconscious patterns are you ready to become more aware of, in order to let them come in the light and be clear on what they are, and see how you want to go forward. So this is a little bit of like prompt question. Maybe they inspire you, maybe you have your own. And I just want to say a little bit about as well, of course, we can't forget the ruler of Sagittarius being Jupiter. And it is currently in Cancer for 1 more month, and then it will go into Leo on the 1st of July. So this means it's not just about beliefs and truth and expanding and evolving and growing. It's also growing that has to do with the themes of Cancer. So it's about the emotional things that we sometimes carry in our lives that is running the show in the background. It can be limiting beliefs about what we think we can do, or rather what we can't do. And it's about where we feel secure, and how sometimes with this Cancer, Jupiter in Cancer, we might feel that we want to expand, we want to play a different role, we want to show the full truth of ourselves, but we are holding back in order for us to be accepted in the groups, in the family, at the workplace, with the friends, whatever it might be. So this is another excellent chance for you to look at that. And if you're interested, this is something we can take a look at in individual reading with me. I love to look at what is the path forward for you. How can you take this energy and these themes going on in your life and take it in a new direction? And that's something we can do in a personal reading. So you can find me and book with me if you're interested on dancingastrologer.com. And then I just have to say thank you so much for watching, and enjoy this full moon, whatever it will bring you. I hope it will bring you lots of goodness. This is Sagittarius, this is Jupiter energy. So enjoy and see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.